Yeah.
Yeah, like
it will show for me, but will people see it?
People will see that you muted. That's fine. So we are live, but we're gonna just give it a minute here. All right. Cool. All right. So we are live. Now we're just gonna give it a little bit of time here. Instagram's rolling. And I believe we're good on Facebook and YouTube too. So I'm just going to give it a minute. So if you guys are tuning in here, thanks for coming to the live stream. My name is Chris Tatro with Hometown Hero Outdoors. We're going to do live streams more frequently for the organization here. And tonight's the general updates that we're going to give a little different this time. So you can see I'm joined with a couple friends here by Nick Peterson. Him and I go way back. Served in the military together, went to school together. Did everything together for quite a while. And also have Phil Ewert here. He's our podcast producer, content creator. But we're going to talk about one of our close friends that we just lost. And it's been a rough couple days, and we just want to give the opportunity for people to hop on here and let's do a quick introduction here in a few minutes, or at least another minute here, and then we're going to talk about our friend Josh Brown. Josh is a good friend of all of ours, many people that he touched and individuals that he did influence their lives in a positive way. And we lost Josh this week. And we'll dive into that a bit, and just want to kind of remember Josh and tell some stories about him and share some photos. I've known Josh since I've been 5. So I want to give it a quick minute here, and then we'll get moving. So what did you do for the rest of the day today, Nick?
I was just kind of present. I'm just taking it all in and just being there with friends, talking with friends. And like you said, it's just, thinking about all the memories and shenanigans that we've done,
right.
As kids and as adults. So, just kind of embracing the process,
Yeah, it's the one thing we'll recap on this later too, is just the amount of memories and things that you go through, and a little, like you said, driving through the town of Forest Lake where Josh and all of us really spent most of our time, and seeing everything brought back a lot of memories.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So typically I wing these things, but I had to prepare a little bit of something. So it's been kind of an emotional couple days here, and just want to get everyone brought up to light about tonight's live stream and what we're talking about. So just want to thank everyone for coming and seeing us tonight. I know you're taking time out of your own personal time, so really appreciate that. If you've watched our live streams before, you know that I usually come on here and share what's going on with the organization, with Hometown Hero Outdoors, and talk about our trips or events, some of our mission stuff. And some of that is still happening tonight, but primarily tonight we're doing something a little different. We'll stay connected with some of the HHO stuff. It's not about the org, but it's important. Like some of the pillars that are in the organization that are important to us, but also with what the topic is tonight. And really, we're here to honor our friend Josh Brown tonight. As I said earlier, Josh, he passed earlier this week, and it's been a very difficult time for us to kind of navigate all of our history together. So from kindergarten to the military deployments that we were on with Josh, to joining law enforcement, being here for some of the easiest days of our lives, some of the toughest days that we share with Josh. And the reason I'm here to share this with you is because Josh's story is part of something bigger that we tell every day through HHO, the bonds that we build, the way we stand by each other, and the importance of community. What I'm going to share tonight is not only personal, it's personal from all of us, and but this is also exactly why we do this, and this is why we have a community to stand with during these hard times. So I just want to introduce the two guests that we have here today. We're going to do a little bit of background on Josh as well, and talk about who he is, and just so everyone is up to date on Josh Brown. So first and foremost, Nick, do you want to give an introduction?
Nick Peterson, grew up with you, grew up with Brownie, and, from grade school through high school to living together and 2 tours together. And then many, many, many life events after that. He's a pretty core person in my life. You know, it was almost like, you know, you didn't see me without Brownie, and you didn't see Brownie without me in most capacities. So it was, I had the pleasure of being able to serve with him, you know, whether as equals or as, you know, leadership and I was fortunate to have him as roommate in both tours, and also got to have him on my gun truck. So we eat, sleep, breathe Army, and it was, man, yeah. That's something you can't let go. You know, been there for a lot of the life of, events, you know, with his son. And when he was born, their marriage, their wedding, it was amazing. So yeah, that's a little bit about me in a nutshell, unless there's anything specific you want to cover.
Yeah, we'll get more into it, Nick. I mean, you know,
Sure.
you and I go way back to, when did you move to Forest Lake again?
I came to the state of Minnesota in the middle of junior high.
Was it
And
like eighth
then-
grade?
And then I was with you guys forever since then.
Yeah. Yeah. So Nick and I go way back, and with Josh Brown, and we'll tell you a bit more about Josh here in a moment, and we'll talk about who he is and the life of Josh. And then we have to also introduce Phil. Phil, if you want to give a quick introduction.
Sure. Thanks, Chris. My name's Phil Ewert. As the title says, I'm the podcast producer here at Hometown Hero Outdoors. I do, you probably recognize my voice if you follow us at all. I do the voiceover for Hometown Heroes, and I also do a lot of the media production. Thanks for letting me come on tonight, Chris. I had the honor and pleasure of getting to know Josh when I worked together with him at the Federal Reserve. Chris, Josh, and I all worked there together in law enforcement. And I also, you know, was there when his son was born, and, you know, went to the hospital and visited when, you know, through all that, and got to know him a little bit and understand the quality of human being that he was. And I did not know him as well as you two gentlemen did. But the snapshot in life that I got to have with him impacted me. And so I'm thankful to be here tonight.
Thanks, Phil. Yeah, thank you both. You know, self-admittedly, you know, as life happens for anyone in this world, you know, things in life happen, and individuals do drift, you know, when it comes to, you know, marriages, kids, school, work, sports, whatever that might be, you know, and at times things widen between friends and their circles. But I'll tell you this, that, you know, it doesn't take much to have something snap back in where you guys start talking and meet up exactly where you left off. And I felt that today with Nick and others. And the big reason that we're here to talk about that is our friend Josh. Josh Brown, November 17th, 1983. Good man. Josh is a Forest Lake police officer, detective, working in narcotics, doing task force work. But his story is much larger than that. Just give a moment. Say hi to Josh. So we're going to share a little bit of a story about Josh. Like I said before, is, you know, life happens and you get older. Things change. People go different ways at times. But it doesn't mean that things can't go back, and you're not able to rekindle those relationships. And I knew Josh, and we were very tight from the age of 5 in kindergarten, literally through the age of 24 through our military careers. And we were pretty much inseparable throughout school, growing up in elementary, middle school, and high school. Joined the military together, did deployments together with Nick and Josh. With Bosnia, Nick was my roommate. Josh went to Camp Cody, so we would send love letters to his camp to check in on him. But
secret squirrel missions.
Secret squirrels, yeah. And Josh would never slip on it, ever, right? So then Bosnia came and went, and then we had a deployment together in Iraq, and Nick got to spend some time with Nick there. I'm sorry, with Josh there. So I unfortunately was not on the same base as him, but very inseparable. Josh is a larger than life person, always has a smile on his face. And I guarantee you, if you're watching and you see some of these photos and you've known Josh through the years, some of these faces you see him make, you're going to go, yeah, I didn't realize he was making those faces from that age on. But I'll tell you what, it was young. So, Josh and I first met in kindergarten. It was one of the very few memories that I have that far back. There's not many that I do have at that age. And then it's with Josh. And then the other person that comes to mind during those years, and there's many of them, but Steph Nelson. Steph Nelson is also a childhood friend of ours that goes way back. And I got to see Steph today, and I've seen her, and we talk occasionally here and there. But as we grew up throughout, elementary school, we spent a lot of time at each other's houses. I vividly remember Josh Brown and his parents consistently building houses, right, Nick?
They were always building, always.
Yeah, and they were good. They were really good at what they did.
Absolutely.
So I remember 4 different houses that they built, I think, through our youth before we graduated.
Couldn't even count.
Yeah, but they were very skilled. Rick and Angie, they did a good job with their house building and recruited the 2 boys to help out. And, when I was there, I would lend in some labor here and there. But I remember vividly, growing up and going to these houses while under construction and completed, and then the next project, and spending a lot of time with them. I'm going to share a couple photos here. So from Josh's early ages, when we talked about being knowing each other since 5. This is Josh back in, I want to say, 3rd grade. This is this 3rd grade photo. Yeah, I love it.
Oh,
I love it. Yeah, I went through the memory box today, and there's tons of photos that I have of Josh that we're going to share some, and not all of them, but we're going to share them all as much as I can here. But yeah, so this is Josh in 3rd grade. We spent a lot of time together in Scouts. You can see in the back here, there's like some pattern. That's a sleeping bag. So we were camping somewhere at that one. Josh and I ended up in Scouts together. We played baseball, and then we ended up in Boy Scouts, and we spent a lot of time with each other throughout Scouts. And we learned a lot together, not only about the outdoors, but leadership and what comes with that, and helped mold us in our youth as we got older. And I was proud to say that him and I both achieved the Scout of being an Eagle Scout after many years working on it, but we did that together. But we spent a lot of time together. This is in the Boundary Waters with my father, and I'll show you the next one with his mother, Angie, here. But Josh in the middle in the canoe doing some fishing with us. And he was getting us dinner while we did all the work. I was okay with that, though. But yeah, we got, us at the waterfalls up north, with his mom, Angie there. She went on a few trips, and so does his dad, Rick, so we spent a lot of time together in the outdoors, which fueled a lot of our passion for what we enjoyed to do together, Scouts. But I think I showed this photo. This is actually, I believe, at Tomahawk Scout Camp. We did have a couple photos come in from some friends here. So when I was talking about those faces that you see in some of these photos, some of them stuck for the lifetime. As you can see here, Josh in the middle with me and my sweet bowl cut.
Yeah.
Hey, Nick, you had a bowl cut too. I remember it vividly.
Yep. I'm not even going to deny it. Totally had that.
Yeah, but there's faces in here that I remember from back in those days. My dad looks like he's about 25 years old on the far right. But that's a face that Josh would commonly use at different things. But this is at my Eagle Scout project and Order of the Arrow stuff. We finished putting together a flagpole for my Eagle Scout project when we 16 years old. And Josh was pivotal in helping me with that project and getting things done. And since we were such good friends, and he helped me so much, I told him that he could raise the first flag on the flagpole, and he did exactly that. So this is at the Wyoming Methodist Church. If there's any local people listening, if you go to Wyoming, Minnesota, and you go down Viking Boulevard, there's the bank over here. I don't know if it's still the bank, but across the street's the Methodist Church, and it should still be there unless I really didn't do a good job with it. So, But yeah, just a few photos I wanted to share with everyone. I mean, we're just babies, and yeah. Yeah, but then, the story kind of picks up, Eagle Scout happens and 9/11 happens. And there's a very close group of us that all got in the military together. What was your enlistment date, Nick?
I believe it was September 31st, 2002. So
Yeah.
pretty much we were all banding up in high school together, and I think 7 of us all joined together at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, what's the names? We had yourself. We had Nick Reedy.
Yep. Nick Reedy or Nick Crosby at the time of high school.
Yep.
Josh Fisher, Steve Major, yourself,
John Casper.
And there was 2 others that are.
Luke Bushman joined. I know he joined the military at that time, but yeah, there was a lot of people. Like, I think the entire National Guard recruiting station got half of our grade.
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, specifically at that time, we kind of banded together and joined and said, we're going to do something. There are countless people from Forest Lake that, joined either at the same time or, thereafter. So Forest Lake's got quite a stance, whether it's been the Marine Corps, the Air Force, the Army. There's a lot of us from Forest Lake that joined the armed forces.
Yeah, and I think it was Mike Anderson and Josh Brown that both joined the earliest, kind of got the ball rolling.
Yeah, Brownie kicked her off pretty quick.
Yeah, I remember him coming back and he's like, "Hey, I just enlisted." I was like, "You what?"
Yep, that happened.
Okay, well, I guess I am too now. Here we go.
Yep.
And then I think it was just rapid fire after that. But he started that avalanche with Mike.
He did. He definitely did.
I love it. Yeah, that's kind of where part of the story happens too, with our deployments and bonding by some difficult times overseas. But we joined Bravo company at the time. Now it's a troop up in Pine City, and that's where we started in tanks. Nick, you were POL, right?
Yeah, at that time, but we were all together in Pine City. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you ended up in cavalry eventually, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So this is one of the earlier photos of us up in Pine City, working on the 240 Bravos for our tanks. And then one of our tank rounds. This is a training round, though. I believe this looks like it's basic training, to be honest.
Yep.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Actually, no, that would probably be AIT for him.
Okay, I suppose.
Yep.
We didn't exactly have those laying around the armory.
Yeah. Good old Fort Knox, Kentucky.
Right. Yeah. So then we went to Bosnia. We deployed. Oh man, 2003.
Yep.
And this is the group that we had a photo with before we left. With we ended up attaching to Alpha Company out of Hibbing, Minnesota, and deployed with them. We sent a platoon over to Hibbing. Is that right, Nick?
Yeah. Well, it was almost like a company size that went over to Bosnia.
For Alpha, yeah. But I think when we transferred to Bravo, we brought a whole platoon with mixed match people, right? Yeah. Then we did a whole company with Alpha, the Avengers in Bosnia. And that's when Josh ended up in Camp Cody, after doing some patrols on the northern border, more or less. And that's where Nick and I were on FOB Morgan, spent some time together, lots of time together, lots of time. And it was great. I don't think Nick and I even fought. I think we got along really well.
No, we were perfect roomies.
Yes, we were.
Yeah.
So match made in heaven.
I just got to note that if anybody that knows Brownie or has been a part of the process with us being in the armed forces, that face that he had, he'd always lock in like him.
Oh yeah. You mean on this one?
He's just a bit. Yep, right there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just serious. I'm locked in.
Yeah.
I love it. If you knew
here's
him,
another one of that, right? Here it comes.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
That's a view, Clark.
Oh yeah, he was ready to not play any games. Another graduation photo. I forgot about these.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So Josh ended up with being in a platoon that went to a different camp to do some secret squirrel stuff. Working, I think, trying to find persons of interest. But we actually did get to see Josh in Bosnia a couple times. We got lucky. We got a pass to go down to Sarajevo in Bosnia for we went to Tuzla, I think, Eagle Base. Is that right? And we were there for maybe
Eagle Base, in Tuzla.
Sure. And that was was it one night or 2 nights we were there?
No, we got a couple nights to go do that, and Brownie couldn't wait to chomp at the bit to be personal security.
Yep. He was our armed escort through downtown Sarajevo. So Josh got to show us a bunch of cool little spots. He actually showed us where World War I started with Prince Ferdinand, where he got murdered in Sarajevo. And man, that was a long time ago.
I absolutely love that deployment.
It was
absolutely
cool.
Loved it.
It was cool. It was super cool. Gosh, I'm trying to find other photos here with the military. I showed these. Oh wait, so then we're gonna go to Iraq here, Nick. So you spent your time with them, so feel free to talk freely.
Yeah. Yeah, so that picture is kind of like the staple, for Brownie and I, because that got used for the news, also for the paper in Forest Lake talking about us.
Oh yeah.
And we just kind of, I don't know, it was a moment, and we were in between missions, and I'm like, let's take a GQ kind of photo, but military manly, There it is.
I love it.
Yep.
All right.
Brownie had to show off the guns, of course.
Of course.
Yeah. That's why he had a thinner friend.
Hey, dude, you haven't gained a pound since I've known you since middle school.
That is correct. Yeah,
Jesus.
it's true. It's kind of like a blessing and a curse, It's a blessing because I can stay this way, but if I wanted to gain weight, I couldn't if I tried, and I've tried. So I'm just right here at a nice size. Awesome.
I love it.
Yeah, that was our.
This must be.
Where were you? That was Able Company and HSC Commander. You know what? We're gonna let our boys have a good time. We were in country, and then I think it was Brownie and I we were talking, and then we found out through family. I think we were about 36 days from going home, and they said, "Hey, you've been extended," and we cracked the chains off the Connexes, and the next day and gotten, the Humvees and did 36-hour ops. And that was our commander saying, "Hey, I got a little something in the Connex for you." And voila.
Tasty treats.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah.
Man, there's so many good photos in here. Well, this is the one when Josh pretended to be like Chuck Norris for the next year.
Oh, yeah. He was super proud of that one. He's like, dude, it's Chuck Norris. I get to be security for Chuck Norris. Who else can say that?
That's pretty cool. I mean, they did have a Chuck Norris joke outside of every chow hall in Iraq. So on a chalkboard. Oh, man. Iraqis feared him. Here we go. Another one.
Yeah. That one, we were doing a helo mission, and we were securing a town, and then we took the opportunity in this bombed out building, like, hey, we need to take a selfie. And there it is.
And this is why we take these, right?
Yep.
For these days to remember. Did I show our? No, I'll go back to that one later. I think that's it for military photos that I have over here right now. Oh, here's a random pool party photo.
Yeah.
That was, I think, my birthday. That's skinny Josh's. Well, me too, I guess.
Mm-mm.
Look at wet rat. All right. Now we're going to talk about wedding time. So, we talked about going through the military. We all got back at that point in 2007. Mm-hmm. Josh got out not too much longer after that.
Yeah, about 2009.
Because I just did my contract, and I jumped ship after that. Had enough deployments under my belt. That was fine with. So yeah, and then then the careers and lives start in different directions at some point with departing the military and not seeing each other as frequently. And Nick, you stayed in. You did 21 years. Recently retired.
Yep.
Appreciate your time and continuing, dude. Mad props. That was
Well, believe it or not, I actually wanted to go 30.
Oh,
So,
it's a lot.
but hey, there's a timing for everything, and that was the moment. And so it was
Yeah.
time to embrace the family and do something for me once.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So.
Only took you 21 years to get there.
I got a cool backpack and a pencil for it.
And hurt and broken knees.
Yep, there's that.
Part. So yeah,
Chris, I'm going to jump in. Chris
Yeah.
Rosemark commented, said that party was at our house. Chris and Josh did milk chugging game. You couldn't hold it down. It was hilarious.
That pool party?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done some things here and there. That was probably one of the like low key, not an issue ones. So we won't go to the ones that we won't talk about. But yeah, we've done some dumb stuff over the times, but that's growing up together, right?
Yep.
So we get back 2007 from Iraq, and we're like, what next? And Josh and I ended up getting a rental in Woodbury for a little while and lived in a townhome, and things changed. You started meeting women and finding significant others, and people go their own ways. And Josh and I started to get into law enforcement and kind of figuring out what we're going to do with that. I started off working at the Federal Reserve Police. And Josh was not far behind on the Federal Reserve Police stuff, and then getting into working for Wyoming Police Departments, and then ultimately Forest Lake, and he's been there since 2017. Is that right? I can't remember. I'll have to double check.
I believe that is correct. Yes, 27.
That's what I thought.
We transitioned from Wyoming PD.
Yeah. So that's where Josh has been, and Josh has been a very good officer. He's impacted a lot of individuals in the community. The community engagement's huge, and being able to establish that rapport with everyone, and nothing but good feedback. Josh did extra duties. He was on the SWAT team for a while, and like I said before, was on the drug task force team, and he's a detective. So he was working hard to try to make sure that the streets were safe and people we're keeping the bad stuff out of people's homes that were killing us. So, it was just being able to sit here and reflect on everything with Josh and our life, and just how much our paths influence each other and help support each other along the way. And even in times where there was distance, we would still interact or bump into each other out in the wild, really, or at the sheriff's office, the PD, or even in the squad when I was still in law enforcement. It was just to kind of see everything come to fruition throughout life and watch each other have successes has been very fruitful. And with losing Josh this week was shock to everyone for sure. And Josh just got done with being, man, a lot more ripped than I ever thought I would see him. But doing his bodybuilding competition, and I know he was very passionate about that and watching it. And when we're talking about it through Messenger, just telling me about all the things when it came to bodybuilding stuff. So, Nick, I don't know how close you were during the whole process with him. I'm sure you know more about all that than I do.
Yeah, Brownie has always been about, I want to be military. I want to be a cop. I want to be jacked, and he tried his darndest to do it, but he always forgot leg day. So to see him, like you were saying about with life and paths and timing of everything, and to see him where he was and where he was at, and to watch him just grow, and to say, like, you could just see it on his face of like, I finally have achieved what I've been trying to go after. I want to be in law enforcement. I want that stability. I want the teams. I want to do SWAT. And I also want, that physical fitness. I want to be able to do that. That was a passion of his. And so to have such a supporting wife and to go at it together.
Yeah.
And then go and do a competition and get the results in which they did. I mean, through the roof to be able to achieve that. And that is probably the biggest I've ever seen him, and the best he's ever looked. And man, you could just see it from ear to ear when he was going through that process. So it's always cool to see something like that and watch your friend achieve something that they wanted to get after.
Amen, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm grateful for you and being able to stay close with Josh over these past, years that distance has been here, So thank you for that. I do. There's things I wish I could change in the past and be closer throughout those years, but
yeah. But the one thing to take away from that is that we have a unique quality that it doesn't matter how much time, how much life goes on. In an instant, we could all come back in the same room together and act as if we're, we just talked yesterday. We just have that kind of a connection. We have that experience. We have all of those things, and what we each did together, either individually or collectively. That's something notable, and it was obviously really seen today. When he was finally brought to Matson's. So it's just, to be able to come together and do that. And especially for him, I mean, that was a huge impact. I mean, I couldn't even fathom that. So.
Yeah, no, it was a very outstanding showing today,
Absolutely.
And as I'm watching all this and you and I were standing there watching Josh come through, and we talked about, Josh would look around and see all these people and say, too many people.
I know he's weird like that. He'd be like, this is just too much. I don't need all this, but secretly he kind of wants it. But at the same time, he doesn't. I know. But yeah,
I was very happy to see everyone who did come, and a lot of longtime people that we've gone to school with that we haven't seen probably since school at times. We graduated in 2002. Like, I know for a fact there's some people I saw today I haven't seen since then. And it was awesome to see the community come out, Josh being, raised in the community and then serving the community for years and decades. Right. And just see these people come back out and give them big hugs give us big hugs and give their condolences. And remember Josh is, what was pretty moving.
Well, and when we were talking about impacts, it was definitely shown today, because even there were people that were not family or friends, or maybe didn't have an acquaintance, but that sense of community that Forest Lake has fostered and created, and the impact of the Forest Lake PD and fire and everyone else, there was people down the road, watching this and giving that respect. And that alone shows what kind of community that we have and what they fostered. And I know Josh, every day when he put that uniform on, he was like, this is why I'm doing it. So It was really cool to see that and everyone come together.
Couldn't agree more. And I would remiss not to mention his family, his parents, Rick and Angie, just how instrumental they've been in my life and influential as well. And I feel terrible for them and the family. My prayers go to all of them, to include Josh's wife and children. And I know those kids meant the world to them. And I'm just going to miss them deeply, deeply.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Nick. I know these next few days are going to be tough, but I'm glad we're here together and we have a community of people. And that's kind of the community piece is what I want to loop this all together in. And you talked about community a bit here, the community isn't just within the walls of people who have served. They're outside those walls too. And today really showed that. With our organization and what we're doing to help our military and first responders is to help them with a sense of community and be able to let them know that there are people that are here that are going to help them. And in the times where maybe I am the person who needs to take a knee, or the next person, or someone's lost, their life is no longer here, is we have the community to stand in and fill in where we need to help them and their family and their loved ones. And today was 100% a display of that. And the next few days are going to be as well. And then the months to come. So if you had the pleasure of knowing Josh, keep those memories, share those memories, share them with his family and his children. Josh is not anything that's just going to fade away. I'll think about him every day, and I've spent that much time with him. Outside of my parents, I've probably spent the most with them my entire life, and he's not going to go away. And that's why the community is great, is because we won't just let him fade. So do you guys have anything else you'd like to share before we end with the procession from today? And then we can give some information about the funeral on Tuesday.
Yeah. I would just say to anyone that's, watching this or was there today, or maybe wasn't able to make it, but in some capacity, you reached out and shared your condolences, whether it's online, whether you texted somebody, really appreciate that. And that man was larger than life. And so he deserves it. And to your point, Chris, yeah, he's not just a person that's just going to pass away and they're going to forget about him. I mean, he was larger than life. So that name will forever ring. And if it doesn't, I'll make sure it does.
I'll be there with you every step of the way, my man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Phil, do you have any closing comments, and we'll get to the procession here?
My only comment is that it's okay to grieve.
Agreed. Absolutely agree. I'm going to be starting a fundraiser shortly with t-shirts to remember Josh. I'm attempting to get in contact with some command staff at Forest Lake PD to find permission to utilize a patch and a badge. And then we're going to get some Red Bull military stuff incorporated. And it's going to go through our friends at Relentless Defender, and they're the ones who like to do the shirt fundraisers, and 100% of the proceeds are going to go to the family. So in the future here, if you're on Facebook and you're scrolling, you see a shirt shared by me or someone similar to talking about Josh, please buy one or buy 50, please. It's going to go to help the family. So, and then last, there'll be information pushed out here shortly. Are we allowed to share all that information yet, Nick?
Not at this time. They're kind of finalizing up things, but we could definitely say is that there is going to be a visitation. There is going to be a service, and right now it is set for, I think, Monday and Tuesday. But the formal channels will come out, and if you see anything posted by us or by Forest Lake PD, or even their family, Brownie's family, that's what's going to kind of take place. But I don't have 100% details on that, so I wouldn't want to send out any mixed messages, but do definitely keep your eye out because it should be coming soon.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to show you guys the procession with Josh, right, arriving at Matson's today, and just how moving it is with the support from everyone that's come from the community. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight. We hope to talk about Josh here more in the future. We'll give some updates as they come, but thank you, Nick, for coming on and talking about Josh tonight. To the family, our prayers are with you again, and we're here from you every step of the way, and always reach out if you need something. We will never not be here for you. So
Absolutely.
With that, I want to say thank you, everyone, and I'm just going to go backstage, and I'm going to share Brownie's photo for a little while. So thanks, guys.
Thank you.